Hello all. I've been asked a few times to do this. How do you start a business in the trade industry? So let's get it done. So what you need to do is you need to have an idea of what you're doing. This is what we're assuming here, that you know what you're doing. You've worked for someone else for 3, 4, 5 years maybe. You know how to do the job. You want to start a business in that industry. And anything you don't know, you can learn. Now, don't let these people be snobby and tell you, oh mate, you can't do it. You can learn anything. You just got to go out and find out the tricks. And a lot of the stuff in our trades is not necessarily difficult to do. It's just knowing how it's done and the steps it takes to get things done. If you can master that, you're away. So yeah, next point. Right, you're going to need to think about insurance. You're going to need to think about setting up your company and how that's going to run for tax. And you're going to need to think about a vehicle for getting around, and you're going to have to think about tools and work streams. So we're going to go through all that now. If you've seen my other video previously, it'll tell you how to get leads and how to get work. That's worth watching if you're interested. All right, so how are you going to work your business? Are you going to be a sole trader? That is, are you going to be you doing the work and that's it? You're the guy who is responsible for everything. You pay the taxes, the bills, blah, blah, blah. Or are you going to be a limited company where the limited company takes the responsibility in a lot of the ways, but don't forget, you as a company director, which is what you'll be, ultimately the buck stops with you. You're the guy who makes decisions, and if you make wrong or illegal decisions, your head will be on the block. Yeah, so don't forget that. I suggest new businesses just start up a sole trader account, get yourself a little business account, and then get onto insurance. So insurance, you're gonna need public liability, and if you're employing anyone else, you're gonna need employer's liability. Try someone like Simply Business. I don't really want to plug any companies. I don't use Simply Business, but that's a good starting point for a decent quote. $1 million public liability will do you. 2 would be good. It depends what you're doing. If you're groundwork like me, your liability needs to cover you for things like how deep you go in case someone's house collapses in. If you're insured to go 2 meters deep and you dig 3 meters and a house caves in, you're not going to get paid out. You're going to be the guy who gets the blame for that. Potentially, I don't actually know where that ends up, but potentially you're going to lose your house. Yeah, don't know. So you got your insurance, you got your bank account. You need to get a website, which I've already gone over. Get yourself a website sorted out and start getting work in and leads. And then you're going to need a vehicle. So again, more insurance. All this stuff costs money. So go and get yourself a fairly cheap van. Yeah, maybe 3 grand's worth of van, maybe 5 grand's worth of van. Get it insured, another 1,000, 1,500 quid worst case. Have a little bit of money put aside if you can for doing repairs. 400 or 500 quid in the bank is a sensible idea to have, because if you can't repair that van because it's got two flat tires, you can't get work to repair the van. You get stuck. Right? Okay, so you're road legal, you've got a job coming, get out, get them jobs priced, get yourself everywhere and start getting the work in. Now, a lot of people will have jobs already and they'll go and set up work for weekends. Or actually, Pro Aggie, you guys will know him. I remember him saying that when he started up, he took a couple of weeks off holiday, had some work lined up for those 2 weeks, tried it out, and he just didn't look back. That's a great idea, and he's doing very well. He's probably earning 40, 50 pound a day now. Sorry, Aggie. When your money comes in, don't be tempted to go and spend it all. You get a 3 grand job and you get paid in. Pay everyone you owe first, right? That might leave you £1,000. It's very tempting to go, great, I've earned £1,000, put it in your pocket and away you go, carry on. Pay yourself 100 a day. Some of the best people I know in business around me still now pay themselves £100 a day, and they keep the rest and they have a divvy up at the end of the year or whatever, but they're never out of money. They'll always have 10, 15, 20, 30 grand in the bank because of that technique. So don't go giving yourself that £1,000. That job took you 5 days. You've earned 500 quid. Take your 500 quid. Keep your tax back separately. Yeah, that's got to be paid at some point. Don't come into any trade if you're not going to be a stand-up guy. If you think you can't do something, just say to people, I'm sorry, I think that's above my skill grade. Don't be ashamed to do that, because I tell you what, fuck me, there's nothing worse than doing a job that you think, oh yeah, no, I think I can do that, and then it's above you and you fuck it up. You're ruining everything for everyone. You get a bad reputation. You're going to fuck your client over because you probably have to run off the job. There's a lot of bad sides to that. So try not to be desperate to take the work. Don't be afraid to say no, and say, no, I think I'm going to have to pass on that, because you pass on that, the next job comes in, might be better, might be better paid, but it might be more suitable to the work you're doing. Keep your money aside, buy assets in the business, machinery, tools, all that kind of stuff. Maybe put some money aside to get a second van and having another guy on with you and having 6 months of wages for him so you can cover yourself, a buffer. All of this relates to paying yourself £100 a day and just getting by on that money for the first few years. because it will give you the money to grow the business. You don't want to be there 10 years later, still one bloke in a van scratching a living, yeah? Really, my advice is you want to go and get 4 or 5 blokes out, you know, and you should be making 50% on every bloke, really, of what he earns. You should be getting 50%. So if you're paying your guy 200 quid, you want to be setting £100 aside for you, yeah? So that kind of gives you an idea of how you charge men out. I'd be surprised if some companies are getting 100% profit on their men. Get yourself a very good accountant, one that you can trust, one that you can talk to and will answer you questions. When you first meet your accountant, ask them a few questions about your business and see if they're forthcoming. Are they trying to help you, or are they just kind of, they don't really want to tell you nothing. They're not interested in helping. A good accountant will make all the difference. They'll tell you how to save money, how to spend money, the best way of spending money that it's best for you and the company so you make more. They'll tell you about dividends. All this stuff is all a learning curve that you're going to learn as you go along. A good accountant, wow, yeah. They cost you £1,200 a year, maybe, depending on what level you're at. Might cost you £400 or £500 a year. But they will save you way more than they cost every year. It's a no-brainer. Don't do all that self-assessment bullshit. Just don't waste your time. So I'm kind of hoping that kind of gives you a bit of an idea how to start your own business. You might be in other businesses where you need premises and stuff. Obviously, that's another build-up. But if you have a house or you're buying a house, try and buy a house where there's a side gate. You can get down the side of the house and build yourself a nice big workshop at the back. Trust me, you won't regret doing that. You can save yourself £600-700 a month in rent. And you are allowed to work from home. Fucking 6 o'clock when you get home, do your paperwork, whatever it is. 7 o'clock, switch it off. Don't think about it. Don't talk about it. Turn off work. Do not spend all evening thinking about work, yeah? Get up in the morning, right, work, then start thinking about it, yeah? That'll eat you up. That will eat you up. That will stress you out. It's just not worth it. And you know, when things are going wrong, fine. Let it be, because you ain't going to change it by worrying. Just let it be. Go roll the punches. Next week's a new week.